about we do the good old 562. 561, I guess. 561. It's a what? Green heaven. Okay, take two. Page 2, 558.
Can I say readings and then?
You guys do readings?
Sure.
Somebody wants to read? Okay, we got a reader.
I'll read.
The first reading today is from Isaiah 53, verses 4 through 12. Surely he has borne our infirmities and carried our diseases, yet we accounted him stricken, struck down by God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the punishment that made us whole, and by his bruises we were healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have all turned on to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of all of us. He has oppressed and he has afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. Like a lamb that was led to slaughter, and like a sheep that before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. By a perversion of justice, maybe I shouldn't have read. By a perversion of justice, he was taken away. Who could have imagined his future? For he was cut off from the land of the living, stricken for the transgression of my people. They made his grave with the wicked and his tomb with the rich, although he had done no violence and there was no deceit in his mouth. Yet it was the will of the Lord to crush him with pain. When you make his life an offering for sin, he shall be his offspring and shall prolong his days. Through him the will of the Lord shall prosper. Out of his anguish he shall see light. He shall find satisfaction through his knowledge. The righteous one, my servant, shall make my many righteous, and he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore I will allot him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong. Because he poured out of himself to death and was numbered in the transgressors, yet he bore the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. Please read responsibly by half verse, Psalm 91, verses 9 through 16. Because you have made the Lord your refuge and the Most High your habitation, no evil will befall you, nor shall affliction come near your dwelling. For God will give the angels charge over you to guard you in all of your ways. On their hands the will that they strike your foot against a stone. You will read upon the lion, cub, and viper, and you will trample down the lion and the serpent.
I will deliver those who cling to me. I will uphold them because they know my name.
They will call me, and I will answer them. I will be with them in trouble. I will rescue and honor them. With long life will I satisfy them and show them my salvation. The second reading is from Hebrews 5, verses 1 through 10. Every high priest chosen from among mortals is put in charge of things pertaining to God on their behalf to offer gifts and sacrifices for sins. He is able to deal gently with the ignorant and the wayward, yet he himself is subject to weakness. And because of this, he must offer sacrifice for his own sins as well as for those of the people. And one does not presume to take this honor, but takes it only when called by God, just as Aaron was. So also Christ did not glorify himself in becoming a high priest, but was appointed by the one who said to him, "You are my son, today I have begotten you." As he says also to another place, "You are a priest forever, according to the order of Melchizedek." In the days of his flesh, Jesus offered up prayers and supplications with loud cries and tears to the one who was able to save him from death. And he was heard because of his reverent submission. Although he was a son, he learned obedience through what he had suffered. And having been made perfect, he became the source of eternal salvation for all who obey him, having been designated by God a high priest according to the order of Melchizedek. Should I read the gospel?
Sure.
I'm doing so poor on the rest, I didn't know if I should or not. The gospel today is from Mark.
Shall we stand?
Yes, please stand for the gospel. Mark 10, 35 through 45.
Glory
James-
to you, O Lord.
James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came forward to him and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What is it you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left, in your glory." But Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. You are able to drink the cup that I drink, or be baptized with the baptism that I have baptized with." They replied, "We are able." Then Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink, you will drink, and with the baptism with which I am baptized, you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand or at my left hand is not mine to grant, but it is for those to whom it has been prepared. When the 10 heard this, they began to be angry with James and John. So Jesus called them and said to them, "You know that among the Gentiles, those whom they recognize as their rulers lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. But it is not so among you, for whoever wishes to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you must be slave of all. For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." So ends the gospel.
Praise to you, O Christ. I stay standing. On to the last song then? Or are we doing offering or anything in the middle?
You can do an offering or do it on the way out. Why don't we do the offering on the way out? We'll just have it play out there. So we can do the last hymn then, 551.
All right.
Praise
thoughts and prayers and anybody else you're thinking about. And probably we should do the Lord's Prayer before we leave. Okay. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. If you really want to go quick, you can, because then there'll be more treats from Miss Palmer for me.
There's chili treats, make sure you have.
Chili treats.